Hey, good morning, Scott Russell. I'm amazed at your faith. And they, what faith? Maybe you don't believe in God, right? But I keep saying love goes beyond the head and into the heart. And we can look at everything that's going wrong in this world, and it is. But inside of you, there's something with a little bit of hope, isn't there? Huh? Something with a little bit of hope. Where does that come from? It's not coming from you. It's an external something that's there that's giving you hope. That's the seed form of faith. That's the beginnings, the inception of faith in your life. And I've got things I'm looking at, and you don't know. You can look at someone from afar and have little signs, little bits of hope, little whatevers. But ultimately, your head's going to be telling you one thing, this is not happening. But your heart tells you another. Inside of you, there's a hope of something. And I choose to live in the hope. And it's not always easy. Sometimes your head wants to rule, and it's the same with this globalist stuff. We look at the world and everything that's going on that's crazy, and your head is telling us one thing. But inside our heart, there's hope. There's hope. And I think that's what's important about being hope bringers of hope. Some people have that gift. They're just bringers of hope. They don't try to bring hope, they just are hope. They don't try to do it, it's just who they are. And when they're resting in who they are, hope happens. When they're resting in the purity of who they are, it brings hope to those of us that can see that. And it's a special thing. People's gifts, often we don't know what we're gifted in. Usually when I ask people what they're gifted in, they'll tell you one thing, and it's not what they're gifted in. And they can't see it because it's themselves. I like to say it's like you seeing the colour of your eyes. You can't see the colour of your eyes, but everybody else can. And that's true with your gifts. You can't see what your gifts are, but everybody else can. So as we walk into this whole mess that we've all created through the world, the globalists, and we can blame them, but in reality, we've all lived with just self-absorbed lives, and the chickens are coming home to roost. And it's people are looking at so many areas of this journey and thinking, well, I'm safe here and I'm safe there, and getting into some of these things like I've been nailing on Bitcoin lately. I'm just blown away at the ignorance of people that are embracing Bitcoin. It's another system of nothing, but people are looking for hope. And I believe the globalists are feeding greed. And so people are looking and running to Bitcoin, and it's booming and they're doing well and they think they're doing great. But it's nothing. It's somebody has a finger on a switch, and at some point will just go pop and it's done. The whole Bitcoin thing is over. And, they'll blame China or they'll blame Russia or they'll blame somebody else, but ultimately they'll bankrupt you. Or, again, what people miss is they'll just force you to bring it in underneath your digital ID. And the digital, if you don't, it's your black market. And they seize black market Bitcoin. All these Bitcoiners that think that we're safe here, the government can't get us. Yeah, well, they seized billions from the Silk Road, which is the black market. These guys are world's experts in dodging things, right? And they lost billions to the government, to the US government that has seized their funds. You really seriously think that you're going to keep your Bitcoin safe? You're tapped in the head. It's not going to happen. And ultimately, I think they'll force people into the CBDCs with that. Really, the real CBDC is the digital ID, the real authoritarian control. Anyway, I think as we look at all these things, there's in all of us, there's a little bit of a hope. I know of someone particularly, I said to them once, you're a bringer of hope. And of course, they really have no clue what that means. And naturally, they probably get running off down all sorts of rabbit trails. But they just bring hope. There's a comfort to them. There's a safety with them. There's a beauty of spirit with them. That when you're near them, it just ignites hope. It ignited many things in me being near this person, and just endless. Some people are just like that, aren't they? They don't realize it. They don't, and that's the beauty of it, because then it's not controlled, it's not schemed up, it's not formulated. It just is who they are. And be who you are. In your faith that you say, well, again, you don't believe. You don't have to believe. It's not in believing. Love goes beyond the head and into the heart. When you love somebody, it doesn't always make sense. Usually where there is love, it doesn't make sense. Love never makes sense. Like God, he never makes sense. The Bible says God is love. So God and love are synonymous with each other. But if you think God doesn't make sense, then yeah, welcome to life. If you think love doesn't make sense, that's real love. If you've got what you think is love and it makes sense to you and it's neat and orderly and you've got that thing figured out, you don't have love. You've got control. You've got domination. You've got manipulation. You've got a system of religion. It's really something that's controlled, that you will follow this way. But when you're in the beauty of the moment, of the romance, you get touched by somebody and you're just like, oh, dear God, I can't get past this. This person's just there. They're just beautiful in everything that they are in their spirit, a bringer of hope. Hope that love is real. Hope that love is and can be, and it's a safe place to be. Be love. And I think that that's, to me, the beauty of life. If you don't understand love, then welcome to the first lesson in God. You'll never understand him because God is love. You've got faith in love, haven't you? You've got faith that I've been betrayed by love, right? I got divorced 5 years ago. I felt betrayed. I tried to keep it together. It didn't stay together. And so I could look and say, I don't believe in love. Love doesn't exist. Why? Because that's my hurt talking. Maybe I was in the religion of love. But when you step out and just let your soul be cleansed and you walk towards arms of love, you start to feel safe. It makes no sense to your head. Your head's telling you could get betrayed again, you could get hurt again, this isn't right, what about this, what about that? And you just kind of go, head, shh. And it's going to be all right. Yeah, you'll have challenges, but it's going to be all right. And that's where you're at globally. You've got faith. If you believe in love, you've got faith. You've got faith in a person. If you've got faith in a person or faith in an external thing called love, but when it arrives, you can't chase it off. It's just there. Good luck running from it, right? Good luck shoving it down. You'll be miserable. Yeah, you can do it. You'll be miserable. You'll be a bitter, miserable, angry person. Dissatisfied and unhappy with life. You just got to give in. Say, I'm going with it. And taking the journey of love. And that's, to me, life, right? I have a love for life that's given by my Creator. And I follow it. And sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. And my provision in the things that I prepare and the things, how I prepare. But he knows the future. His ways are higher than ours. Friend, you've got faith. Surrender to it. Stop trying to figure it out. If you figure it out, if you can figure love out, you don't have it. If you can figure God out, you don't have him. Because it's a movement of your heart. It's a movement of your heart. So for me, I gave my life to Jesus bought me that right to surrender. And as I surrendered who I am and my control and my fear and all the things that I want to be in control, I want to know what's going to happen, I gave all that to him. I still struggle with it, but I gave it to him, and now I sit in the peace of the love that he brought me. You're in love. Walk with it. Walk with it, friend. Because I tell you, it only gets better. Love is creative. It creates your provision. It creates what you need for the future. So no matter how bad things look, you will always get through where there's love. Have faith in love. If you've got faith in love, you've got faith in God, because God is love. So to me, it's just surrender. Surrender the worries. Yep, your head's still going to spin and that'll go crazy. Surrender your heart. Flow with where life's taking you and enjoy yourself. God bless. And hey, those that will be, I love, right? But follow along in the state of be, who I am. And that will be where love is.